The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, boys and girls. Halloween is almost upon us. We're just a little more than a month away. And the news that just dropped is that the last drive in with Joe Bob Briggs, including Darcy, will be back for a sixth season coming up. And that's big news for us horror fans over at Shudder. So look for that. And you know what? Hey, there's going to be even bigger news coming out of this show because it's going to be a super season. They're going to be doing more than 30 movies coming up. And this is, I don't know how the format's going to lay out, but it's going to be big. And to have more Joe Bob and more Darcy, that means that horror is on the rise. That means that Joe Bob with Joe Bob is gaining a lot of traction, and a lot of fans are enjoying it. They're going to love it. And there's a whole bunch more stuff, 2 Halloween themed shows, a Christmas show, New Year's show, and a Valentine's Day show. So, not a New Year's show. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but hey, there's enough Joe Bob for everybody, including me. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 583 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also the lair of lost swag within the Raven Chateau, and Casa de -0, where it never is -0 degrees, not even Celsius. So we are here. We're live. We're on time in Central Time Zone, right?
Yeah.
Anyone in CST? We're right on time.
People in the Midwest should be loving us right now.
So, yeah. If you're listening live, we're running a little late. Well, a lot late. Had I wouldn't call it an emergency, but something I had to act quickly. I had to go get some medicine for Ozzy. He's good. He's got a bad cough right now, but and then also all the fun stuff that goes along with setting up a new mixer and completely redoing everything. Thankfully I was able to test drive it last night on Force Insensitive, but there's still some stuff that happens on the live shows that is different. So like not having my like plugging everything back in and forgetting to plug in my my ring light to give me some light on camera.
And that's fair, Wolfie. I mean, listen, I know we're all raw and ready and rock steady, like
Are we?
MZ's boy, Chow Daddy. But you have the unsexy job of making all the technology work and doing that, where it's easy to be like, hey, Bombaleo, look at my dick. Don't look at my, unless you want to.
Get out of it. Just get off camera.
Yeah. I mean, you really, forget I said that part. But you do the heavy lifting, and thank you. You have the unenviable job about making the beeps and the screeps, work.
I appreciate it, but you don't have to swaddle me, like it's
Swaddle.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus, dude. It's like you're putting his balls to sleep. What the hell are you doing?
to sleep.
You're rocking his balls to sleep. Knock it off.
Rocking them
Go
balls.
to sleep,
Yeah.
little balls. Dun, 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 dun. No, it's not like you go to the elephant graveyard. We gotta. Wolfie's not in the game anymore. We had to put his balls to sleep.
Jesus. MZ's the one with the elephant balls.
Yeah, he's not married yet. Actually, that was funny. Have you guys heard of the term soaking? I think it's called soaking.
soaking? Like go in a tub and you soak, right?
No, no.
Are you talking about a soaking?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to have to pay Lucasfilm any more money. But I think there's a term called soaking. Um, look it up, MZ. You should look this up while we're talking. I think it's a. He's actually doing that. If you're watching the live feed, I think it's a Mormon thing because they don't do the sex before the marriage, right?
They don't do the sex.
And what they do is, if you soak, that means putting your member and your partner's. And either you would do it yourselves or your friends would like push the mattress, so you're really not having intercourse.
So you're in, but you're not
Okay.
like actively participating. You're just in.
Right.
Some
And the bed can
All
be
right.
vertical or horizontal. MZ, thank you. What do you got?
Okay.
okay.
Let's see,
I
let's go
feel
to
like we
you.
need the fucking breaking news.
We have a man on the street, MZ. He's in where's Mormons live? He's in Colorado. What do
We're
you have?
joined by Monster Zero right now. Monster Zero, please give us the news.
More Montana. That's where they're from. Okay. Here I'm on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Okay.
Wikipedia,
And,
not Urban
by the
Dictionary.
Way, I googled the word soaking, and it was the second thing to come up.
See?
This sexual practice, as it's called, soaking, also known as marinating or floating, is a sexual practice of inserting the penis into the vagina, but not subsequently thrusting. Reportedly used by some members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
The Mormons.
News sources do not report it being a common practice, and some Mormons have said that soaking is an urban legend and not an actual practice by members of the LDS Church. Others report knowing LDS adherents who had soaked. Now, see, Raven Shadow, have you been having sex like this, your mom wouldn't have been knocking on the door all those years ago.
Thank you for that. I like the term marinating. That's sexy.
Yeah. That
So-
sounds like you should have like some sort of flavor on you by the time you're done.
No,
Well,
you do.
in the way you do.
So apparently, though, there's another element to this. So in soaking, it says now the jump man is the person who will jump in the bed next to you soaking to get some friction going without you technically moving. So it's not a wingman; it's a jump man.
Oh shit! Like I like Flavor Flav. Yeah, boy.
So
Like,
Raven Child, would you be someone's jump man?
Yeah, I'd be like, yo, jump around. Oh, jump around.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck around and come now. Yeah.
Oh, Marion actually said
Oh, shit.
she posted about the jump man before I said anything. She said soaking. A friend can jump on the bed for you too.
Oh,
It's like, yo, baby, you want to come over and watch fucking Netflix and marinate, baby? Come on now.
Evil Corner says, "Why isn't it called dry docking?" Well,
Ooh.
I guess
or dry dicking.
I guess it could be. It could be soaking or dry docking, depending on, the plumbing, I guess. See, who said the show wasn't informative and educational?
Yeah, right. I'm learning a lot already.
Raven Shadow is
What
going
an
to.
educational program. We should be on PBS.
Raven Shadow, how often have you been asked to be someone's jump man?
Not. I'm open. I'm a 4-time best man. I guess I'm open to be a jump man. You can book me. Yeah.
It's like birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, and I can be a jump man too.
Yeah. Marination sessions. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucked up though. What a great, like, religion and fucking humans are fucking weird.
You
The
think?
shit we do for religion and fucking, like, all right, listen, like for a while there's one loophole that was used before marinating. The
Yeah.
butt. Right. Okay. Fine. That was a loophole, but it seems like now this is a way to do that. I like how the bed can be horizontal or vertical, and you can get friends come over. That's fun.
But I mean, vertical. I mean, Jesus. I mean, how would that even work?
We put the mattress on a wall, and then you could stand, and depending
Yeah,
on
yeah, like
it's-
where the cone heads is something, but like I don't
Right.
understand how that would work. I mean,
If
I don't
you'll
know.
be my jump
I guess I have
man,
to be a
I
Mormon
can
to
be your
figure it out.
long lost pal.
I guess you got to be a Mormon to figure it out.
You can call me Al Cool. That's the fucking
I mean,
Al
it's
Cool.
bad. I mean,
It's
call
going to
you
say on
Betty.
his business card.
I
Ju-
mean, it's bad enough that they do it with the sheet between them and stuff like that. Man, that's weird.
Jump man is on his fucking business card.
I'm a jump man for hire, please. Yeah. This is my previous work.
Yeah. Do you have a do you have a reel, or do you have a you have something you can show us?
Well, I have some video.
Oh God.
That's fun.
Is it?
It could be, but it's weird. Like it's I don't know. It could be like just if it's consensual, just have fun. Don't invent shit. You don't need a jump man. You don't need that.
Oh man. We
That's
do
my
have
message to the kids.
we have let's see. We have Marion, as I mentioned. Angry Townsman says evening all. And Evil Corny's hanging out. And
Such
also
brothers.
Tim Chuma. What's up, Tim Chuma? All the way from
Yeah,
fucking
boy.
down under. And he says Rib Spreader Blu-ray releasing in December by the same company who did the Handbox C for Talk to Me. He says Monkey Shine's Blu-ray with booklet written by film writers in Melbourne. They seem to be doing a lot of these days.
Maybe Adelaine.
Yeah, you gonna do some more some Australian flashbacks?
Yeah, get dingoes over there.
They eat your baby.
A lot of missing hitchhikers. Yeah,
Yeah, it's all Johnny Jarrett's fault.
it's all fucking double J,
ding-
the real double J.
Real Double J. All right, so what are we doing?
Throw
Oh
a
yeah,
baby for Oliver. Hang on.
all right, go throw the baby.
Here
So
we go.
on the show tonight, we're going to be talking about the film No One Will Save You. It's a Hulu exclusive flick from director Brian Duffield. So we'll be talking about that. We did have, hopefully everyone saw on social media, I posted that we're going to be doing that film because as of last week, we hadn't selected a film because we were waiting to hear back about a Patreon, which didn't materialize. So we ended up going with this one. And it should be some interesting conversation. Probably not, probably some stuff we can't talk about, spoiler wise, but we'll do our best to talk about the film. And we have, let's see, we have a voice message and we have a video to play. So if anyone out there is listening live and they want to get a voice message or even a video, you can go ahead and send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. That goes for, even if you're not listening live, you can go ahead and do that at any time. You can send it in for next week, the week after that, whatever. We're always love to hear from the listeners out there. So, all right. Well, so MZ, the news you talked about at the beginning, you must be psyched about more Joe Bob, more than ever, right?
Of course. I never miss a week, and what I do only catch one show, because they start at 9, and the first show is usually done by around 12.
Yeah.
11:30 or 12. So I only stay up enough to watch one show, and then I'll catch the second one on Sunday if I can. But yeah, it's going to be great. I can't wait for another season, and if they're making it bigger, then that means that more money is being generated into the show, into the app. You know, more people are buying it, and Joe Bob's show is, one of the sole reasons why people would get Shudder.
Oh yeah,
A lot
for
of
sure.
people say, a lot of people would say, forget about the movies. The main reason to get Shudder is for Joe Bob and Darcy. And while I don't agree with that sentiment, I think Shudder has plenty to offer as far as horror is concerned. I don't care what anybody says, but The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob is like a primo de facto reason why a lot of people have this app. And I'm just thrilled to see him still doing his thing as well as he does, and having Darcy on there as his sidekick is just fantastic. I've been watching it now since the beginning, and I don't see any letting up. I don't see Joe Bob slowing down at all. I see him just keep right on chugging along.
Have you seen any of Darcy's previous work?
Oh yes, I'm a big fan of her work.
Where would that be now?
Well, if you, I suggest
blah, blah,
you
blah.
go onto any internet and look up.
Look in your browser history.
Yeah, just look at my browser history. You'll find it.
On
If I do that, I'll be on a list.
on Pornhub. That's where his browsing history is.
Oh, did she diversify previously?
Yeah.
She used to do porn, yeah.
Under Darcy the Mail Girl?
No, Diana. Actually,
Diana
I'm surprised
Prince.
you don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Diana Prince.
Yeah.
Diana Prince, yeah.
Oh, that's Darcy the Mail Girl?
Yeah. What,
Yeah,
you
that's
knew
Wonder
Diana
Woman's
Prince? Yeah. I don't know if that's her real actual name, Diana Prince. I mean, it very well could be. I don't know. It's possible.
Because she grew up in Themyscira. Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I mean, it very well could be her real name. I don't know. I never really dove that.
She was
deep
formed out
into
of clay.
Yeah. Was she formed out of clay?
Of course she was. Look at her.
You didn't go that deep into Diana Prince, but she's been on Jericho. That's fun, interesting.
Yeah. Well, hey, what are you gonna do? She loves AEW.
She does.
She's on the show. She goes to the show
I know.
all the time.
She has an AEW podcast.
Oh, really?
She writes on her chest.
Yeah.
And I guess not the last show, but the one before it, she wrote something. I can't remember what she said. I think it was whatever. Like on her chest, she wrote whatever, and she's wearing like this body hugging tight fucking shirt that makes everything go pow pow, and it says whatever right here. And even Billy Gunn had to stop and admire the artistry that she created for us.
He kind of asked, well, if it's the same video, he kind of went up to her like, "What's your deal? Like, what is this? What did he say? Like something like, does your mother know you're wearing this?"
Yeah,
or something along those lines. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, because nobody ever wrote letters or words on their bodies before at wrestling events. No,
I don't think people saw the words.
But he notices this one.
No, it's what she was wearing. That's why he commented.
Of course it was what she was wearing. Of course it was. I just find it funny that, looking the way she does, wearing what she was wearing, and oh, hey, Billy Gunn's going to go over there and chat it up with her for a little while. And let me just say, I mean, to go off topic a little bit here, Billy Gunn looks fucking fantastic, doesn't he?
Oh my God!
Well, that's what I mean. That's what, and this isn't like this is legit. I mean, that's what human growth hormone does for you,
He's
but
what, 60,
he works the fuck out like crazy, though.
No, he's like 50. I think he's 59.
He's 50 something. Yeah, he's in his 50s. Yeah, he looks great. He looks amazing.
Fantastic.
No one looks that good at that age.
He looks great. He looks fantastic, and so does Al Snow, for that matter. Have you seen the arms on Al Snow?
Yeah. Did you see that show,
They-
the wrestlers on Netflix?
They're like this. They're like this, dude.
Is that show good?
Yeah, I
For the
liked it.
wrestlers?
Yeah, I watched it. Did you
Is it like
see it,
Tough
MZ?
Enough?
Say what?
Did you see Wrestlers on Netflix? At the series
No,
of Al Snow? No. It's Al Snow is now he's running OVW. He's the CEO of OVW,
Okay.
Ohio Valley Wrestling, that used to be associated with WWE. They produced what was his name? Leviathan, who ended up being Batista, Cena, who's the
Oh.
prototype.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. I can't remember what I don't know if Brock Lesnar was just Brock Lesnar or if he had another name, but Brock started there too. But
Brock Lobster.
He was always Brock Lesnar.
yeah. But that was their developmental back in the day before FCW and before NXT. It was OVW. So but now Al Snow runs OVW, so they did a whole show on Netflix, and it was like a behind the scenes kind of like a reality style show, as they kind of try to keep OVW running because they were having money issues, and these new CEOs or like guys bought into it, and they're trying to like be like, yeah, like we can't keep losing money, and they're trying to tell Al Snow how to do his job, and Al Snow's like, nope, that's not how you do it, and it all works out in the end, so to speak, Raven Shadow. But it's pretty interesting. I mean, there's some wrestlers on there that I've seen before, some that have done like AEW dark matches and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's worth a watch. I kind of watched over the course of a couple weeks, just here and there, and I thought it was pretty good.
Well, it's funny. I actually listened to the Road Dogg podcast. Oh, you didn't know today? And Al Snow was the guest, so he didn't talk about that, and how he mentioned how OVW is the only other wrestling company after WWE and AEW, that do live shows, do live
weekly,
television shows.
weekly live TV.
Live shows.
Yep.
On like Fight TV, I think it's on.
Yeah.
But I've been a huge Al Snow mark, from back in the day. I think as we all have.
Yeah. What does everybody want?
Head. Boy, was he the wrong action figure to get pulled from fucking toy shelves. Looking back, but I'm a huge Al mark, and I love him in Road Dogg. I love him in Mick Foley stories. That's cool. No, I love Al Snow.
Yeah. I mean, he's the focal point. He's like, because he runs it and he writes the storylines and stuff like that. So he's a big part of it. So if you like Al Snow, definitely check it out. It's not bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chat. Rocky popped in, and the first thing he says is, MZ's lotion, you're soaking in it. And then he said, Horny Corny likes a good soaking in those Raven juices. The fuck?
Oh,
wow. Evil Corny says, well, I just saw part of a soaking video on PH. I assume that's Pornhub. There was a jump woman active. I think my atheist sensibilities are threatened. And Tim Chuma says, I can see Pornhub reflected in Raven Shadow's glasses.
I cover the camera, Tim.
Rocky says, you may see Pornhub in Raven Shadow's glasses, but I see it in MZ's soul and Horny Corny's pooper. What the fuck? Wow.
It goes all our female attendance right now.
Awesome. It goes all of our fucking human listeners.
Human.
All
we're left with this Horny Corny Rock and fucking Tim from Melbourne.
Marion asks, anyone plan to watch Gen V on Prime? Is it Gen 5 or Gen V? Do you know?
I thought it was Gen V for VOT.
That's kind of what I thought too, but Gen 5 sounds better, but it's probably Gen V, yeah. So Marion says, anyone planning to watch Gen V on Prime? It's The Boys spinoff, drops tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Maybe I knew it was coming. I want more boys. I don't know if
Ooh.
timestamp.
Timestamp.
That's the kind of thing if Aries said, we would have like never never let him
The
live
end
down.
of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
and
I'm
I think
curious. I don't know much about
Yeah.
it.
it's, to my understanding, it's nothing from the comics. They're doing their own spin-off. And I've said it from the beginning. There's very few examples of this, but The Boys TV show fits it. And for my money, having read the first 2 years of the books, I think the show improves upon the idea.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's not crazy shit that I wish was on screen, but overall, I think the show is better than the books, and it's rare when I say that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember. We were talking about it on Force and Sensitive actually. I think Rocky was like, "You haven't seen it, dude? You got to check it out." And then I think I mentioned it on this show, and everyone's like, "You haven't seen The Boys? What the fuck?" So I ended up watching like I don't know, what was it, 3 seasons? I can't remember how many are out now.
Oh wow.
Whatever it was, like last year, I caught up on all of it in like pretty short time because once I started, I was like, wow, okay, I gotta continue on with this. And
Did you see the penis episode?
I've seen all the episodes. So
Okay, yeah.
wait, which penis episode? I'm trying to remember.
Picture a shrinking character.
Oh yeah, that was that was the beginning of the second season,
Okay.
I think, right?
I think it was 3, but yeah.
Or 3,
fair,
okay.
fair.
Yeah, I knew it was the beginning of a season. Yeah, there's that, and oh shit, what's the Aquaman dude's name?
Oh, the Deep.
The Deep.
Oh, the fucking dolphin, Wolfie.
The Deep. That fucking dude, man. I really genuinely think MZ would like The Boys.
MZ, for real. Every time we've said you should watch something, fuck it all. This is something that's in your fucking wheelhouse, dog.
I remember you guys talking to me about this, and I remember you guys trying to cajole me into viewing it. I just haven't had the time.
Yeah, if you break something, maybe, like in your body, and you're forced to be bedridden for a little while.
You
I don't
break
want it to happen.
something.
But if you pull a muscle, which might happen, watch 2 or 3 just to see, like, because Garth Ennis hates superheroes, and it's fucking obvious. He's written some great comics. Like he writes a great Punisher, but there was an issue of Punisher where Spider-Man showed up. Spidey's knocked out, and literally, like, Punisher uses him as a human shield to get punched by bad guys. And when Spidey wakes up, he's like, "What happened?" And Punisher's like, "We had a team up. You were great." Like, he hates superheroes. He's a Brit. He likes war shit in westerns. So, like, I think you would love it. There's some gross shit. There's dicks. You'd like
Butts,
orgies,
orgies.
superheroes doing butt stuff.
Oh, Rocky just said Herogasm in the Ant-Man urethra moment.
Yeah, bro.
Herogasm was fucking awesome.
And Herogasm was so much more over the top in the books.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I'm
my
sure.
Lord.
Yeah,
Oh,
they probably
my Lord.
couldn't get away with everything, even though it's they get away with a lot.
To be fair, that show is Nickelodeon compared to the comic. And I assure you, the amazing Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy was a way different
Oh
character.
yeah,
in the
I can
books.
imagine.
But like I say, I love it. It's fun. I love. Is it Keith or Carl Urban?
It's not Carl. Yeah, it's not Keith. It's Carl Urban.
Yeah. He's great as Butcher. Diabolical. The fucking whale, Wolfie. Come on now, son.
Felt bad for the whale, but yeah.
I just feel yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Marion says Gen V, and then in parentheses V compound. And Rocky says Raven Shadow looks like the Deep if he only talked to and sexed small woodland creatures. What?
Okay, all right.
So instead of fish, if you talk to small woodland creatures, that
Like the woods.
yeah, isn't that just Morty? Morty.
Actually- Nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. Morty. Actually, I heard on the El Snow Road Dog podcast that the human anus can stretch up to 19 inches.
What the fuck? Who? I don't think I want to know actually.
Al Snow did the research. Check it out. And he said that a raccoon can fit into a space that's 4 inches.
Andy.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong one. Shit.
Oh, he's running amok.
Oh man. Evil Corny says MZ needs to watch Preacher and the Boys the next time he's hospitalized by a butterfly bite.
Preacher and the Boys. That sounds really suggestive and very dangerous, and I don't think I want to see it now.
All right, so what else we got? Rocky says MZ is hospitalized for released Rufus and Ronaldo at the same time in a windstorm for releasing them. And oh shit!
That would hurt, no doubt.
All right, so what else is going on? Since we are running so late, I figured we'll probably truncate this a little bit. Oh, Raven Chow, I'm sorry. Do you know what that word means, truncate?
Make smaller.
Wow, look at you.
Look at you. We're reading the dictionary?
Reading is fundamental.
Oh, you know what fundamental means?
Important.
Oh,
Raven Shadow puts the mental back in fundamental.
Yeah, I'm fucking mental.
Oh, shit. Or are you putting the menthol back in?
reading is fundamental,
Menthol. I like to smoke when I read.
or smoking is fundamental.
And that's one to grow on.
Hi, I'm Jason Bateman, and this is one to grow on. Smoking is fundamental, and this has been one to grow on.
Oh, man.
From ages fun to menthol. That's fun. Menthol sucked, dude. Those are bad for you, dude.
Yeah? You never smoked? I mean, you never smoked them regularly? You just tried them?
Yeah, no, I was like fucking Hudson Hawk. You bum a butt, you're like, oh, fucking menthol. And he throws it. Remember that scene where he's in the fucking gurney? Menthol. I mean, once again, I don't want to do a whole fucking rant, but there's so much bad shit in cigarettes. They should really put a fucking vitamin up in that motherfucker. But menthol, they get the fiberglass in there. That's not good.
No, you don't want that shit.
There's no need for that.
Nope. All right. Well, I think we'll just wind things down here because we'll talk about this movie and whatever
Talk
else.
is funny.
What?
Talk is a funny idea about this movie.
There was there even any dialogue?
Well, we're gonna fucking
very little.
All right, so let's wind this down. So if you guys want to help support the show, there's a few ways you can do so. The best way is Patreon, patreon.trickortreatradio.com. You can head on over there, and actually, I can't remember if I mentioned this last week or not. We got a new Patreon. Let me just pull it up real quick. He's a returning Patreon supporter. Let's see, where did it go? Okay, so it was 5 days ago. So we just got our boy Casual Noob Saibot is patron once again. So appreciate that, Casual Noob. It's always good to have you back on there. So
Yeah, boy.
appreciate the support, buddy. So patreon.trickortreatradio.com. Head on over there for as little as $2 a month and up. You can support the show, and you know what? You get stuff for it. You get an exclusive episode every month we record just for Patreon. And we also release a video version of it for a higher tier if you want to see our, I don't know, not our beautiful faces. If you want to see our middling faces.
Middle-aged faces.
Middle-aged faces. You know, if you want to see that, then you got that option. And you know what? If you want your own Patreon takeover, that's also an option in there. So you can go ahead and sign up for whatever tier you want. Every little bit helps because, it's expensive to run the show. I just got a new equipment upgrade. It was my choice to get that. Thankfully, it wasn't because something broke down. But the thing is, I'll be able to take this and turn it around and start selling off some of the old gear. I just had too much of it, and it was a huge fucking rolling rack just full of gear that just really don't need. So we got the new mixer, and it is working out pretty good so far. You guys will probably hear some weird sound effects because I'm probably going to play around with it and have some fun.
Kind of like this when MZ is in the witness protection program.
So when that's what he'll sound like when he's in the witness protection. Ollie's running you amok. Go throw the baby. So, yeah, it's not cheap to do the show. I want to say it's like I don't know. I don't have my numbers in front of me, but it's like almost $100 a month to run the show. That's like between website hosting, between podcast hosting, subscriptions, all that sort of thing. It gets up there. It's a little pricey. So we like to try to at least break even, and we've been mostly doing that. But if you guys want to support, feel free. We would appreciate it. In addition, you can go to trickortreatradio.com and then scroll down and look for the Amazon logo. You click the Amazon logo, it's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session will get attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That's right. So you can go ahead and use the Amazon link. Finally, on trickortreatradio.com, we have the store. Just click on store, and it's going to bring you to our digital storefront. From there, you can buy the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio Volumes 1 through 3. $3 a pop, and you get loads of content. There's hours upon hours of stuff you can check out, and give it a listen. And we have a nice sampling of the previous years, the early years of Trick or Treat Radio at this point. So,
there's so much content you could soak in.
You could.
Call back.
I don't think you want to do that.
No.
Well, I mean, it's okay if people want to soak in our content. That's okay. They don't have to. They don't have to do anything against their will, right? To ruin their reputation.
Yeah, just in the room and you just soaking for a while. Get a jump man to come in and just,
You get a hype man to come in and hype up the show for you.
Lots of zeros might come to your house, maybe.
Without you knowing it.
That's not good.
That's how I prefer to do it.
Yeah, that's why you moved to Maine, because you had to go away.
Yep.
That's it. So those are the ways you can support. Any little bit helps. So please consider supporting the show. All right, Michael Raven Shadow. You sit down to watch No One Will Save You. What do you do to prepare for this fucking movie?
Well, first of all, I'm excited now because that Casual Noob Cybot has rejoined the family, and I'm dying to get that dude on a blackout tapes because I want to fucking talk with that dude. But with that said, last week it was Marion's birthday. really nice celebration.
Happy birthday,
know.
Marion. Happy belated.
See? And we went out to a Bocado, her favorite restaurant.
Captain Picardo.
Captain Picardo, yeah. From the Federation, you know what I mean? That shit, yeah. You call it a tapas joint.
What did you order? How many appetizers did you get? Would you get the amuse-bouche?
I did. There's a hot meal I like, which is like grilled steak with rice and beans. They do no onions. I like that. And I got some rice cheese balls that are fucking to die for. And we maybe took some edibles beforehand. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know what happened, but it definitely enhanced the experience. So it was fucking awesome. And you better believe with a belly full of fucking, Spanish food and maybe something in our system, we came home to watch this movie. And watch it. Definitely not listen to it. So you better believe we strapped on.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music,
pants,
quoting video games that don't have dialogues,
shabibans,
tasty news,
unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia,
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts,
or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Redoctopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we?
We sure do. So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
like me,
worry not, gentle listener. Next week, we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's a blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
No. Don't say that.
It's like, you really put us under.
It's like swearing in church.
You just jinxed us.
Yeah. you put a lot on our shoulders just now.
Well, we can strive for greatness.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
you really are. You got a great show.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
Hey, you matzo heads. This is Larry Fine, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
All right, we are back on Trick or Treat Radio. And it is time for us to talk about our movie of the week. And that movie is No One Will Save You. Written and directed by Brian Duffield. It stars Caitlin Dever, Elizabeth Kaluev, Kaluev, I don't know, Zach Duhame, let's see, Geraldine Singer, Dana Rhodes. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's stretching it, I guess. And the synopsis for the film: an exiled, anxiety-ridden homebody must battle an alien who's found its way into her home. So this popped up on Hulu. It is a new release as of September 22nd, and had this one on our radar. And Brian Duffield, previously, he's done some films you guys might have seen. I don't think we've covered any on the show, now that I think about it. Because he's mostly written films, but he did a film called Spontaneous from 2020. Let's see.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, I don't recognize. Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with this movie, but prior to this, he's written a bunch of movies, and he wrote the TV series Skull Island. So that's not out yet, I don't think, though, right? Yeah, so he developed the series and wrote it. So I think he did all 8 episodes. So he also did the screenplay for Love and Monsters, which came out in 2020. And he wrote both babysitter films, the original The Babysitter and then The Babysitter Killer Queen. He did screenplay for the movie Underwater, came out in 2020. And also the screenplay for Jane Got a Gun from 2015. That was the picture with Natalie Portman. Old West.
Oh.
And yeah, so he has a pretty big background in writing, but now he's getting into more directing. I mean, without giving much away about the movie, that makes a lot of sense to me. I feel like he had a good narrative sort of understanding, you know. So, so yeah, there you have it. He's got a movie coming up. Vivian Hasn't Been Herself Lately is his in development flick. And it says a young married couple struggles to survive against a supernatural entity. Interesting. Okay. So, yeah, it seems like he's a guy that's kind of rooted in genre, subculture a little bit. Like he's into it, and you know, with movies under his belt like Love and Monsters and The Babysitter and Underwater. So, but yeah, second flick that he's directed, and as mentioned, it's a Hulu exclusive. So if you guys want to check it out, let me see. Chat room, Evil Corny says jump man or woman. Yeah, of course.
Jump person.
Jump person, yeah. And Evil Corny said Underwater is a good film. Yeah, I hadn't seen that. Have you guys seen it?
Not really.
Well, it's either yes or no. I mean, well, I guess for you, there is always the not really option because you put it on, but you didn't really watch it.
It's funny, dude. I watched 3 movies back to back and didn't fall asleep.
But did you watch them?
I did. And I can speak to them.
What movies were they? Do you remember the titles?
Yeah. From potentially I'm not sure the days, but between Saturday and now, the first one was Strays.
Oh, the dog movie with Jamie Foxx and Seth Rogen, is it?
Yeah, I was kind of. What's that?
Is it Seth Rogen?
Will Ferrell.
Oh, Will Ferrell. Okay.
Rogen may have had something involved, but Will Ferrell was the voice of the main dog.
Okay.
Reggie. And I gotta say, the first 20 minutes, I was like, I don't want to watch this. I'm having an anxiety attack.
Right. You
like,
thought they were going to get hurt or something, right?
Yeah, because the dude from MacGruber.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's kind of a bastard, right?
Yeah, he's a dick. I'm like, I go to Mary. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. But it was funny. A lot of poop.
Well, dogs like the poop humor, right?
A lot of pee. But it was funny. So I stayed away for that. And then for Marion's birthday, after we had a great dinner, we watched Barfly, the great Mickey Rourke, Frank Stallone.
I'm the projectionist.
I'm the projectionist.
It's a long cry from that, right?
Yeah, a long time ago. Before a lot of punches were thrown. And then this movie we watched last night.
Wow, look at you. Triple feature. MZ, is he going to get inducted into the film club now? Watch 3 movies in a week?
Impressive.
No. I stayed awake.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. That's the impressive part, is they stayed awake.
Most impressive. And Marion was like, she looks at me, and will look at me. I'm like, I'm fucking awake. But yeah.
Did you watch him at like 1 p.m.?
It was early.
You did.
In the day.
Yeah, you did. I know.
Doesn't matter when I watched it, Wolfie.
No, it doesn't. You're right.
That's true.
Doesn't
That's
matter.
true.
All right. So let's dive into this. So I didn't really have, it's hard for me to say there's any expectations because I didn't really, I didn't really know much about this movie other than, it was framed to me as like a home invasion film but it's like an alien home invasion film. So I was like, all right. My first thought was, it's interesting. I don't know that I've seen something like that before, but then my next thought was, why are aliens concerned about one person? Like that was sort of like my next sort of thing. So I was like, all right, well, obviously I'm not going to hold any grudges, against the movie for that. But I was curious to see how they were going to pull that off. And we'll find out. So let's do first impressions. So Raven Shadow, since you watched this, in addition to other movies, and you're all excited about it, what's the, after you finish the movie, the credits are rolling, what's on your mind?
Well, I think that's a lot of questions for one answer.
A lot of questions for one answer.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the one answer then?
What's the one question?
MZ, seriously.
No, but I feel
Don't
like you're
look at me, man.
interrogating me. You're trying to get me to fucking say where I was last night. I'm just telling
This is what we do on the show. We talk about the fucking movie. I won't pick you. I won't pick you first next time. Okay?
No, but I feel you're attacking me.
I'm not attacking you.
I feel your little interrogation. But no, I didn't know a lot going. I don't know a lot.
Period. The end.
Yeah,
Story over.
I don't know things. I knew less about this picture. It wasn't until 15 minutes in when Marion's like, "There's no fucking talking in this." And I'm like, "Of course there's fucking talking in this movie. Why would there not be talking?" Turns out, no fucking talking in this movie.
Raven Shadow, we call that dialogue.
Regardless. But there was no dialogue. Yeah. So like,
was that a problem?
It wasn't great. I wasn't excited for it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, I'm excited for the no talkie movie. You know what I mean?
This is a hell of a first impression.
Well, yeah, it was like, what the fuck? Like, is she a mute? Is she like Snake Eyes? But no, like I was engaged. I liked it, and there was some scary aliens. A friend of ours would be nervous about this picture because he don't like these kind of fucking aliens. But yeah, I was into it. If you want to flash forward to the ending, I may give you a different answer now with this question.
Yes.
I don't know how to answer.
What?
I don't. I feel
MZ, what was your first impression of this fucking movie? The credits are rolling. What do you think?
Wolfie, well, first of all, Wolfie, you got to learn how to deal with him a little better than this. God damn. Oh my God. Okay. Well, after the credits roll, okay. Well, I thought that, well, the whole lack of dialogue thing. I thought it was interesting, very 2001-ish, and I thought that maybe it was kind of being done. Of course, yes, I thought it was being done on purpose. I thought maybe at some point she would, break through, because it feels like that there should be a purpose as to the reason why there is no dialogue. And I thought maybe the plot might have something to do with it. It doesn't. I thought maybe that it's, just the tactic that the director just wants to use, and I figured that's what it is. It's just a tactic that he wants to use. He wants to try and make this like a silent movie of sorts. I thought that maybe, it's not a terrible idea, but given the situation that our heroine is in, I felt that it was just a bit overindulgent. There's really no reason why she doesn't talk in certain situations that she finds herself in with the aliens and everything that's going on around her. A lot of it just doesn't seem to make sense. She's not a mute, because you can hear, she's screaming, and early on when she's learning how to dance, she's got those felt steps on the floor where she's learning how to dance. You can hear her singing with the music, but the music kind of drowns her out just enough where you can't make out what her voice sounds like. But after a while, that part started to get to me a little bit, because I'm thinking, man, this is done with a purpose in mind, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the plot. That was a little bit annoying. But I mean, what we end up getting, after we learn about her, who happens to be this, this old-fashioned homebody. What do you call her? Not a stylist, but a seamstress.
Seamstress, yeah.
Yeah. She's a very old-fashioned person. She doesn't have anything that's of modern technology. No cell phones, no computers, no. She has an analog telephone, for Christ's sake, hanging on her wall. She listens to records, so she's very old-fashioned in what she wears, how she presents herself, and like I said, even has an old-fashioned job of being a seamstress. So I like the idea that she's a very old-fashioned person, even though she's living in this new age world, and she's like in her early 20s. I mean, outside of her lack of dialogue, I found her to be very refreshing in terms of what our heroine is going through as far as the aliens are concerned. You dig?
Yeah, I dig.
Okay. But that's my opening statement on that.
All right. So for me, it's interesting, the no dialogue thing, because I recognized it, but it didn't, like, it was one of those things where I didn't, after a while I was like, there's no dialogue in this. And but it wasn't something that like jumped out at me like a sore thumb, like, oh my God, like I can't believe there's no like I didn't even notice for a while because I felt like this movie did such a good job of showing without telling. Like they did so much good visual storytelling in this that I really dug it. And what you're saying, MZ, is, maybe it was intentional. And maybe it was, because this dude has written a pretty good amount of films. He's done like 10 films in the last like 7 years. And this is only his second film as a director. So there's always the possibility that he was like, you know what, let me try not to rely on my writing and let me try to use my directing chops to get them better. I'm not sure. I have no idea. But it seems like a potentially like a good reason to do so. I personally didn't think the lack of dialogue affected this movie or hindered it whatsoever. There's not a lot of talking that could happen anyways. I mean, there's some scenes where maybe I could see some dialogue, but there's also a lot of scenes where really it's not needed. And, like, what is she going to do? Try to communicate with the aliens? Like, it's like one of those things, like, I don't really know how else we could have utilized dialogue in this. So for that reason, it didn't bother me whatsoever. I really enjoyed it was refreshing, and it didn't stick out like a sore thumb. It wasn't like, oh man, there's no dialogue. That's weird. They really could have used some here or something. I didn't get that vibe at all. But I think that this is a really effective thriller that utilizes its space really well and has a bit of an emotional core and a heart to it that I wasn't necessarily expecting. And, while we can't necessarily talk about too much about the ending, because this is it's a new film, it's better off if you just gonna go in cold without knowing what's going to happen. So I think in that regard, I think you're better off just going in. But yeah, I thought that it did a good job of unveiling the story as you went. And there was never a point in time when I thought, oh, like, I need more information. Like, what is going on here? Or that's too much. Like, it seemed like just the right amount of sort of unfurling the story, if you will, of just kind of like rolling it out there. And I feel like they did it at a very good pace, and it really helped the film, I think. Because pacing wise, I could see this being something like, for instance, like last week we talked about The Last Voyage of the Demeter. And I think we all talked about how the setting was a bit of a crutch, being on the boat for almost 2 hours. It really kind of got old. And in this, it's a home invasion film. And sure, it gets outside of the home, which I think does help. But even when they were in the home, I didn't feel that it was too much. I didn't feel that it was limiting, because I think they used the space really well and varied it up enough where, one time where she was hiding, it was upstairs. And then another time it was downstairs. And another time it was in the basement. So I feel like we got a good sort of lay of the land of the house. I thought it was used effectively. So that's pretty much, I guess, my first impression is I thought that this is a really effective thriller that utilized its space and dialogue and effects. It utilized everything exceptionally well. It doesn't seem like it was a big budget film, but it felt like it had a bigger budget than it probably did because of all that stuff. So, all right, well, go ahead, MZ. You're going to say something?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, let's dive in a little deeper now, because, I think some of us gave our first impressions.
I feel I did. It was fucking weird.
I really like the fact that she's old-fashioned.
Yeah.
And, I really felt that was very, very refreshing. Because she could have very easily have been, jamming on the phone, with her.
Jamming on the one.
Jamming on the one.
Jamming on the one. and just just being a today's woman, sort of thing. And here she is in her early 20s. She's got her own business, her own house, you know, uh, and she's, from that she appears to be very successful, and she's just lives a very simplistic life. She cooks, she. I don't want to make it sound like this is some sort of miraculous thing, but she cooks her own food. I don't know. There's just something about the way that she's portrayed as being a homebody to herself that I just found to be very, very refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
She's got no boyfriend. She doesn't rely on anybody. It's not like she lives out in the sticks. She lives out in the country, like a suburban country.
Like probably Midwest is what I was guessing. Like,
yeah. And doing well for herself, and suddenly, well, not suddenly. Let's get into a little deeper here. She's reminiscing about her friend Maud, and she's got all these pictures and these cards, and she even writes notes. She doesn't even have a computer, so she hand writes notes, and that's how old-fashioned she is compared to today's world. And next thing you know, she's thrust into a situation where she is being visited by someone from outer space in her house. And I really like the way they presented the alien the first time around. You don't see anything. It's just a shadow behind some tempered glass or whatever.
Yeah, that was cool.
So I like that. It's very, it's got a sense of the ring to it, a ringu. How you see just a blur of the being that's behind that glass, and just the sounds that it was making and the way it moved.
Like the clicking and
yeah, a lot of that clicking and that hollow sound, like whatever. Really good stuff. And the tempo of how it was running around the house, and she's spying on it, making sure, seeing what's going on, and she's not saying a thing, of course, but she's terrified at this point. And just the way that the tempo of this scene is played out, the pacing of it, and the sounds that this thing is making, and where she's going to hide, and what's going to happen. It's all paced out really, really well. I loved how this part played out. It was just really intense. It was scary because it's nighttime. The aliens fucked with her electricity, so there's no light anywhere. And she is just like freaking out at this point, trying to figure out what is she going to do next, and I just love the way this scene played out. It was just so expertly done.
Yeah,
lots of tension, lots of a couple of scares here and there.
And I like how it kind of just got into it too. Like it set a good tone with her, and like you said, MZ, like she felt like a kind of a fresh, like a refreshing character. There was something different about her that felt like unique, like it felt like this is a different kind of character we hadn't really seen. So I did enjoy that. And then it just kind of gets right into it. It's like all of a sudden, it's like not fucking around, and now we're in the fucking thick of it, and I liked how that sudden shift kind of happened. And it didn't really relent. Once it started, it didn't relent for almost the whole movie, but there was enough like chance for like a break where it wasn't exhausting, like I feel like it did a good job of pacing it out. So yeah, I would agree with that. I think that scene was a standout. The first, when the alien first appears, and then kind of what happens at the end of that scene, I thought was really kind of shocking too. and kind of
right?
was like,
Because
where do
you
we
don't
go?
expect it.
Where do we go from here? You know?
Yeah, you don't expect it. I mean, because it's slow, it's plodding, but it's intense, and then it hits you like a freight train,
Yeah.
and that's when things really start picking up, and of course the big question mark here is, because we know there's an alien in the house, we know he's roaming around, we don't know if he knows that there's someone in there with him, but we also don't know what this alien looks like. And that's always a nice big reveal. You want to know what this son of a bitch looks like,
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the thing.
I just want to say, and when we do get to see, it's a shock because of the way it was portrayed, the way it was revealed. I think the reveal of the alien was more shocking than the look of the alien himself.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Ramcho.
No, I think there was some great tension in the scene when you heard the pitter patter of the sounds.
Oh, yeah.
And her in the bedroom and, hiding, and especially underneath, and seeing the feet. You're like, what the fuck is this?
They look like a thing from the Addams Family. The feet look like things. It was
almost,
yeah. They look like fingers.
Yeah. It was creepy. It was kind of a traditional look, like a traditional alien look, but I liked how they differentiated it.
Yeah, when they do this, it's like, that's new.
And some of the things we see later on, I won't say specifically, but some of the things we see later on are like, oh fuck, man.
And you're like, what the fuck is this? And once you kind of get the cut of its jib, it's still fucking scary. Like it was, what is attached to those legs? What the fuck is that? And
is that what people say about you?
What's that?
Is that what people say about you?
Yeah. Like, oh my God. Oh. Yeah, because one of my first time meetings of fucking from the view of under a bed.
That's troubling.
Yeah, you never get a second chance for a first impression. But yeah, I was fucking scared. And the gimmick worked. Like she's like trying to hold her, you don't want to make a sound. So I thought there was some great tension in what the monster is. When there was a reveal, it was cool. I don't know. I mean, did we say what they look like? I think we said already, right? They're
kind of a traditional look. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to give all the details. I think on some of the posters, I think you can actually see it. So,
what do they call it? The big head? The big head?
Like the Gray Man style.
Gray Man style. But mean and sinister more? More of an asshole?
Alien, more like asshole.
Alien, more like asshole. E.T., more like asshole.
So yeah,
but just to fast forward it a little bit, this isn't the only alien that she encounters. She encounters others, and I like how when you go to the next alien, it's different from the first alien, but the same. It's just, you can tell it's the same thing, but it's different, and I'm not going to get into any specifics about how different this is or what its traits are, but it was different. It was it's of the same species, but it was different. And then you get to the other one, which was a total mind blower.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something you've seen before.
Yep.
But the way not so much the body formation, but the the appendages, let's say.
The silhouette that it strikes. Yeah.
Gives it a really amazing look, like something you definitely don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, because there's one alien is pretty definitive what happens. But when she encountered other ones, I'm like, is this the same one? Is it different elements of the species? Like, is it a weird super team? Do they have their own powers? Do they have their own specialties? You know, because the size difference was a thing. And then when she goes out in public, if that's the scene that you're referring to, MZ, some of what she encountered around other people, like the subway scene.
Right.
You know, I was okay with, and I get it, the not talking gimmick. But even like, if you're running from something, like if I'm working on a project, it's just me in the house. I'm still fucking sweating. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fucking wrench it around, wrench it off? You know, I'm still making noises. You know, if I'm fighting a fucking bee's nest outside, I'm yelling at it.
Yeah, but that's you. I mean, I wouldn't yell at a bee's nest. I wouldn't. Well, first of all, I wouldn't knock it down either. But
Well, people are they're allergic. I'm allergic. I was allergic.
You were, just like
Yeah,
MZ was allergic to chicken.
Yeah, I think I grew out of it though. But I didn't go like put my hand in a bee's nest.
Yeah, to try out.
Like, fucking, like that scene in Flash Gordon. I didn't put my hand. I just got stung and didn't have to go to the hospital. I didn't just get home drunk and eat a fucking bottle of bees.
Bottle of bees. Yo ho ho and a bottle of bees.
Yeah, 99 bottle of bees on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like the dialogue thing is going to be an issue for some people, but like, I think
Is that a fucking jab?
no, I think that both you guys have brought it up. So I think that it's something that other people will be like, yeah, you know, I wish there was some talking in this. I feel like the film isn't hindered by it at all. Like, I feel like the film, there's nothing, like, I'm not like, oh my God, what happened? I have no idea, because no one was saying anything. You know, there's nothing in this that could have been told to me in dialogue that I didn't get from context of visuals, you know? So I think in that regard, it didn't need it. Would it have been nice to have? Sure. I mean, maybe that's the case, but it definitely didn't need it. But yeah, I think that I mean, the one thing I was curious about, we talked about the setting. So it takes place, I mean, we know it takes place in, like, I would say 2022 is kind of when I got the vibe, because you look at some of the headstones that are in it, and you kind of can ascertain, you know, like the mod was 2012, and she said 10 years ago. So you can kind of guess that was about the time. So, you know, and she has a Subaru Outback, so she's got like a relatively modern car, but she never like has a cell phone. And I didn't see anyone with a cell phone, so I don't know if she's just old fashioned and doesn't have one, or if nobody has one in this world, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe the area where they live, maybe it's not.
Well, I mean,
well, we know this isn't shot in Romania then. But you know, but the aliens that are there, they seem to have a purpose with her. You know, I mean, it seems like they have a purpose with everybody there, because, you know, you see these little burn circles in the grass, something that she had to tend to early on in the film, where there were these burn circles in everybody's lawn, and you see these incredible drone shots, and you see like dozens of these little burn circles burned into people's property and their lawns and everything. So you start learning more about, okay, what's the purpose of that, and that does have to do with the aliens, and we do find out about that. But as I said, they have a purpose with her, at least specifically for her, because otherwise we wouldn't have this movie. About, and what she has to do is face her past. They make her face her past. And you notice that she's pretty much to herself, but when she tries to be friendly with people, a nice gesture, a wave, a smile, whatever, everybody just turns their back to her, give her an ugly look, and even some near physical altercations happen. So obviously her past has something to do with something that that seems to be a town, that everybody seems to know about. So it would have to be pretty major.
Right.
And
As she encounters people who she interacts with, they have a certain opinion of her.
Yeah. And we don't know. And the thing is, at that point, we don't know why that they have that opinion, because we're just, we can see at one point she has a panic attack. So clearly she has anxiety and there's a lot of stuff going on there. And, so we don't really understand. And that's kind of like, I think the cool thing about this is how that plays out. Is one thing I thought was a interesting sort of statement about this is she is almost like an alien in her own world, because like she doesn't have anyone that she relates to. Nobody talks to her. And so she basically feels like a foreigner or an alien in her own town, So I thought that was kind of an interesting setup to kind of get at that. And like when she goes, like, because we see her see who ends up being Maud's parents, and she's kind of hiding from them, kind of scared, and you can tell something's going on. Like, I wasn't sure what it was at first, and then she writes the letter to Maud and basically says 10 years ago and blah blah blah. Like, so one thing about, and we won't say what happened, but there's something that happened that she has not forgiven herself. Like she says, I'll never forgive myself. I think she actually wrote that, if I'm not mistaken. So that's, I think, something kind of important. And I wish I could, well, I guess it's not, I don't think it's spoilery. The name of the movie is No One Will Save You. I feel like it's No One Will Save You from Yourself. Like I feel like it's a take on that. Because I mean, if you can't seek validation from outside, like you have to be able to provide it yourself. And if you're broken, like finger quotes, to the point where, you can't overcome something and you're dwelling in that, like I feel like you need to do it yourself. Only you can do it. You can seek out help. You can go to therapy or whatever, and they might help you along. But ultimately, it's up to you to get to that point. You have to want to get there. So I feel like that's a big part of this. Were you going to say something, Rave Shadow?
No, I think that's huge in it. So I think on one hand you have the invasion of, an extraterrestrial form.
Invasion of the Jumpman.
Invasion of the Jumpman. Contender. But then you have the self-discovery stuff, and I think all that is valid. And this is just one character's journey. You know what I mean? To take it back to, it by no means are they crop circles, but the markings. And I saw that as like X marks the spot.
Yeah.
Almost like grooming or targets for whatever this thing is. And we're focusing on one character and what they're going through. And also too, I mean, while it's been said the lack of dialogue is obviously a thing. I think it did enhance the story. You know, it reminded me of a classic issue of G.I. Joe, the silent issue that involved, you know, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and a Cobra Temple. And there's some urban legend that, you know, there was dialogue in it, but there was a misprint at the printer and it came out, you know, with no dialogue. And you had the artwork to tell the story. And it was famous because that book showed the matching tattoos of both Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, you know, kind of thing. And you can tell a story with just pictures. You can tell a story with just words, you know. And I think this film did that. Maybe I'm jumping ahead to the end, but this is all stuff that I took in as the story was going in maybe a larger direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, maybe there's something more here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's there's more I want to talk about with this movie, but I'm trying to be careful about the end. I feel like it's so when we look at where the movie ends and where our main character what's her name? Bryn, right? I think
so. Yeah.
So where Bryn sort of is at the end of this movie versus where everybody else is, so to speak, I guess. I feel like what it's saying is one in every X amount of people will do the work that they need to do. Like that's almost kind of what I feel like this was saying.
Huh. Wow.
Because a lot of people are very grounded, or not. I shouldn't say grounded. They're very sort of like stuck because of something, you know, and that's something that you know, I guess if you get into like psychotherapy and you know whatever, like a lot of events, traumatic events, cause us to sort of stay. We do like, I guess you can do it where you sort of like don't advance past that part of your trauma and it stays buried inside, or it's something that you're fearful of, and these can both exist together. Something that you're fearful of, like I heard someone once explain this, like I hate to use this example because we all have dogs and love dogs, but if someone gets bit by a dog when they're younger, you know, they're gonna have this sort of like PTSD of any time they, you know, touch pet a dog or something like that, they might be afraid they're gonna get bit. You know, like just that like action reaction, and it creates, you know, in this case, it creates a sort of trauma. So I feel like that's one of those things where you can either continue to fear that thing or you can work with it and try to overcome that thing. You know, and so in this, Bryn has a very traumatic event that occurs to her, and it really kind of defines who she is. And I feel like also in a sense, she sort of gets stuck in the past, like, because we see that something changed about her, you know, towards the end of the movie. Like she had a different like vibe, a different look to her. I feel like she was kind of like, it's showing that she was like stuck in the past. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with liking old things and you know, and enjoying crafting with your hands and, you know, and whatever. But I feel like a part of that was to show that she was maybe stuck in the past. And then, you know, as the movie advances, you know, we see that maybe she's not quite so stuck in the past. You know, and I think that's, I took it as that's one of the sort of like indications that, you know, she may have moved past this issue or whatever, you know, trying to tiptoe around it without giving too much much away. But that's yeah, I thought that was interesting, and I thought that the whole like one in like, you know, 1 in a million, or not 1 in a million, but 1 out of every X amount of people will this outcome will happen to them, and then the other is another outcome will happen. That's kind of how I took that what occurred in this film. I know it's like super vague, so people who haven't seen it are like, "What the hell are they talking about?"
But that's fair. I mean, I think the at its heart, if this movie is about self-reflection, self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, it throws in the backdrop of a alien
The
invasion,
creepy alien, yeah.
but makes it personal and creepier and almost targeted. So it on one hand, okay, this is a take on the alien invasion genre, the genre that's the alien invasion genre, where it might have a little bit more akin to, like, say, I'm just throwing titles out there, like The Signs, Cloverfield, or the Super 8, are all twists on that kind of story to various degrees. I think this movie should be entered into that dialogue where it's not, where it's not Independence Day, right? It's not.
It's not. Fuck.
Welcome to Earth,
motherfucker.
Motherfucker. Keep my planet's name out your motherfucking mouth. Monster Zero was so right about some people. That's fucking funny. Who fucking knew? Fuck you, Will Smith. You don't listen.
You're talking about the actor, not the baseball player, right?
Not the baseball player. Yeah, no.
One of the two baseball players named Will Smith currently playing.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, they don't have any entanglements that I'm aware of, let alone the public. But no, I think this is it combined those things, and what it is on the surface might not really be what it's about. And I thought that was kind of an interesting, like, light bulb to go off.
Yeah.
For a movie with no fucking dialogue.
Right.
Or limited. Like, huh. Look at you.
Also, take this opportunity. I want to talk about the score. I really dug the score, and I don't know if it was an actual theremin, or if it was like a synthesized theremin, but it added like that. To me, that's the sound of an alien, right? Like of an alien ship. I mean, they use it all the way back in. I don't know if this is the first film, but The Day the Earth Stood Still. Right. That was the, like. Actually, let me see.
Yeah, I think they also used it for a thing from another world as well.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was popular in a lot of pictures back then.
What did Greg Brady use when he faked the UFO for Bobby and Peter to
slide whistle?
Was okay, yeah.
Slide whistle.
Remember that, MZ?
Well, yeah, I just
you just said it. Yeah.
All right, fair.
And it was the fakest looking UFO ever.
I was scared.
I was scared.
Let me. I might actually. Let's see if I can do my my theremin. I can connect my phone to this new mixer. I can't remember what my theremin program is. I'll find it though and see if I can play a theremin on it.
Well, I know where your real theremin.
Well, yeah, my real theremin is at your place. But yeah, I thought that the music added a lot to it, and it was subtle. It wasn't like like so in your face. But to me, that's the sound of like sci-fi aliens and flying saucers and whatnot. So, yeah, I thought that was really pretty awesome.
That was.
Yeah,
the score was really good. Yeah, it was. I have no complaints about the score. I definitely paid attention to it. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, there was that, and also the look of the film. I thought the film looked fucking awesome. Like you know, and MZ had mentioned there's some drone shots, some really terrific drone stuff in this. And, you know, I think we take for granted now that we see a lot of drone footage these days because it's so easy to do compared to back in the day. You needed a fucking helicopter, and that was impossible to get for, you know, for any indie film, you know. But now all you got to do is just fucking get a just find like a cheap one. You can get a drone and just fly it up there with a camera, and, you know, boom, you get a fucking immediate budget right there, you know.
Right. You
and it always looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it always looks good. You know, I've yet to see a bad drone shot.
I'm sure there's some that are, you know, not ideal, but let's see. All right, so here I can do my theremin. Oh, let me turn it up a little bit.
Right.
I haven't used this app in a while.
Yeah. This Friday on Svengoolie, you know, Plan 9 from outer space. Channel 5 on UPN.
I was watching Plan 9 from outer space today, as a matter of fact. I love that movie.
All right, that's not theremin.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old-fashioned way of denoting that aliens are approaching.
It's one of those cinematic shorthand things that you hear it and it's just like
it's timeless. You know, it never really goes out of style.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
But I dig it. You know, it's I don't know. Maybe it's the director's way of trying to be like trying to be like Bryn and using, you know, in being old fashioned himself by using, you know, these
the old
these kind of sound effects for alien spaceships.
Yeah, for sure. All right, what else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that. So what did you? Yeah, go ahead, MC.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to ask. We already kind of talked about the aliens, but overall, like, you know, in a lot of monster movies, we talk about like, oh, they didn't show the monster enough, or they showed it too much, and it showed its, you know, some of the inadequacies of it, you know. But I kind of got like a general, like, I thought generally this looked really good. It was CGI, at least I thought. You know, with the way they moved, I mean, I don't think there's any way to do that practically. Maybe you could enhance it in CGI, do some of it practically, but I thought that it looked pretty good. Like, I thought they did a good job with that. And the design was creepy, and I think they varied it up enough where it's like it kept it fresh, you know.
I don't know. I felt like the more that we saw it on screen, the less the magic, you know, appeared. You know, I felt like the magic was starting to disappear a little bit the more we got to see it. You know, because I mean, there are some not long shots, but I would say shots that last more than, like, say, 5 seconds, which, you know, if you're doing quick shots, yeah, you should be able to get away with it. But when you got the camera lingering on a CGI effect for a certain amount of time, in this case, at least 5 seconds, the magic really does kind of go away. No matter how creepy you make it, you know, you can always tell that, yes, it is CGI. There is one scene in here where you get to see a dramatic close-up of one of the aliens' faces, and it's on there for a real long time, and the magic of it just starts to go away. You know, it doesn't hit you, you know, as much as you would like for it to, or maybe it's just a matter of you know, we already know what the aliens look like. You know, no point in putting too much time and effort and trying to make these things look as realistic as possible, because everybody knows what they look like by now. I don't know, but I just felt like the magic kind of started to go away
Yeah.
after a while with the effect, and not just that, but also with the UFOs and everything like that. I just felt it was just kind of like going through the paces after a while.
I felt I thought they were showing at the beginning. I thought they were maybe showing too much too soon, because when you do that, then you kind of have to keep up with it, right? It's like, okay, well, now if you show a lot early on, then you have to keep up with it. But I thought they did. I personally thought they did a good job. I was a little concerned about that, thinking, you know what, like they might overextend themselves a bit here, because we've seen a lot more than I imagined we would this early on. But I think what helped was differentiating the look of the aliens. I think that did help, especially like the second one was almost even creepier than the first because of how different it was, and then the next one is like, oh, fuck, like, so I think they did a good job of differentiating them. Like maybe it overstayed its welcome a little bit at times, but to me, it wasn't too bothersome. Like it typically would be, because I think they had really strong designs, and I think it helps doing it with aliens as opposed to, something that we know what it looks like a human or like a fucking deep fake. When they do that de-aging shit, sometimes it just does not look good if it's on screen for too long, So I think that had something to do with it. And also I think that generally, like, there's a shot towards the end of the movie where I think the whole like background and everything was CGI, and there was a few CGI characters on screen, and I feel like they did a good job because it felt like it was part of the environment almost. But if you put that because it's like doing a CGI background with a CGI, like with CGI characters, I think works a little bit better. But if you're doing something where you're doing like CGI characters in a real environment, I think that's when it starts to break down a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think overall, I think I liked how much they showed them, and I think maybe they probably could have pulled back a little bit, but none of it really got to the point where I was like, oh, like I think they're showing too much. I think it's a little bit too much. I think overall it was a good balance for me.
I agree. I think you get your money's worth with the monster, the progression. Yeah, I think it helped. I think it helped to show you, not to go back on the no dialogue thing, but I think it helped to show the creatures, plural.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, could probably start winding down soon. Is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up? Talked about the music, talked about the sort of the direction, the way it looked and all that. Talked about what we thought about the movie for the most part. So yeah, I think we can probably head to a verdict. Let me check the chat. I hadn't checked in a while. Tim Chuma asks, have those toys not moved since 2019, Raven Shadow? He's talking about the ones in back of you, over your shoulder, behind the bar.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
Corny says, Wolfie, you need to start drinking. That was a while ago.
Yes.
And Rocky says, theremin music plays when you see MZ nude.
Actually, ask Wolfie. That's not true.
No. Goodbye Horses plays.
Yeah. I'd fuck me.
Let's see. All right. Let's do it. Why don't we go to the verdict?
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat.
Come on. Buster didn't play again. What the fuck? The thing
I
is,
think Buster's finally retired.
no,
I think he's.
I fixed
quit.
it. I fixed it one way, but then, all right. See, yeah, I just had to click on the fucking thing. But here you go. There's Buster.
Woo-ha, woo-ha.
All right. Verdict time. So we're gonna let you know whether No One Will Save You is a trick or a treat. Any final thoughts? Let's start with MZ.
Buster's too busy making Dangertainment to be doing our show. I'll tell you, I love the title. Okay, I love the title. It just instantly puts a stamp on where this movie is going to go, regardless of its narrative. I really dig the character of Bryn. I think she handles herself quite well in this movie. Ripley, she ain't, but I think considering who she is and what her situation is, I think she handles it quite well. We get to learn more about her past and why society has basically shunned her in the manner that they have. This is a very good movie. I enjoyed this movie. I loved the ending. I thought the ending was fantastic. The tension is there. The suspense is there. The scares are there. There are a couple of legit scares. The tension is there. The mystery is there. The way it's lit, the way it's set. I mean, that's all there. The CGI could be better, but I think, but once you finally realize, what these aliens look like, I guess you just don't have to put in that much of an effort anymore. But everything around her, with what the aliens did to her, was interesting and dynamic and fun, and scary, because you don't know what they're going to do to her, so there is a little bit of intrigue and mystery and intrigue involved. The score is good, very good. We played some theremin earlier, and yeah, it sounded just like that. I love the way it's shot. It's paced really well. It's edited great. I love the editing for this movie. Especially her dream sequence. Oh my God, that just floored me in that dream sequence. Just really, really well done movie. Not perfect, but very well done. This is a high-end treat.
All right, Michael Rimchatham.
It's funny, I think this discussion that we had definitely influenced my final thoughts on this picture. While
because Double D wasn't there to tell you what to think.
It's part of it. It's part of it. But I was a little bit on the fence. There were things I liked, things I didn't. But no, I like the exploration. I think maybe I said it best when I said this was.
I said it best.
I think I did. You give credit where credit's due. If it was Wolfie, I'd say Wolfie, but I think it was me. How along the lines of, an emotional journey of self-discovery wrapped up in a alien invasion, targeting a specific individual type picture. I think I may have said it better the first time, but yeah, I like what they did. Could it have been cut? Oh, I don't know.
Be honest. Tell what you used to think.
I think it did a good. It didn't necessarily hit all the marks for me. There were a lot of things I liked a lot about it, and I think for some people, this is going to be exactly in their wheelhouse. But I do, once again, as I said, it just fit into that niche genre of twists on alien encounters, if you will. So, and I do have to say, I did pop at the very end. The final last shot where the camera zooms out, I really dug it a lot. So it's funny. I'm wow. With that said, it might have to just be fuck my ass. It was almost a tepid treat. Maybe a treat. You know what? It is a treat. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it again, but it was fun. And check it out; it's different. And you know what? It's a treat for its entry into this genre, and I'm down for the creators are doing next.
All right.
Yeah.
So I just found like a quick little excerpt of an interview with the director Brian Duffield, and so it says the question, and this is we've already sort of talked about this, so that's why I didn't think it would be like spoilery, but the question is, and then you do an interesting thing in the movie where the classic gray shows up, but then over the next 90 minutes you get a couple different versions of it. You get there's like, I'm assuming you had terms for all of them. What'd you call the second one? And then so the director says, it was the gray, the little fucker, the daddy long legs, and then the parasite.
Okay.
That was the shorthand written into the script and also on set, as in, all right, bring out the little fucker.
Okay.
I did like the little fucker. That's a good name.
Wasn't that long? Actually, I had an idea for a character called Daddy Longlegs. That was like a variation of Stiltman, but he would have a spider gimmick. But yeah, like one was fucking large, right? One was big. I'm like, well, he's a lot bigger than the other ones. Yeah, it's cool, dude.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. All right, so for me, I mean, it's probably clear, but yeah, I really dug this movie. I think it's a really refreshing movie. It does some sort of like well-tread tropes, but in a fresh way. That like there's a lot of things that have been done so many times before in this movie, but I feel like they're done in a way that really works and makes it feel fresh and different. So yeah, I really enjoyed that aspect of it. But yeah, I think that, I mean, the fact that there's no dialogue in this, that's difficult to convey stories sometimes, but I feel like they did an exceptional job in showing and not telling. Oh, go ahead, Raven Shadow, yeah.
Oh, one thing I want to mention, I do recommend watching the subtitles on.
What? Okay.
Just because it helps with some of the gurgling and the sounds, I think it'll help.
Aggressive,
if you watch it with the
aggressive
lights off.
clicking and gurgling. Was that like what it said?
Bro, I'm all into fucking clicking and gurgling, dude. That's my shit.
Clicking and gurgling.
That's my gimmick.
Jesus Christ.
That's a weird part of the noise.
Do you do the alphabet?
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Continue.
All right. So yeah, no, I actually really love this movie. Really well done.
Why
And
don't you marry it?
maybe I will. I don't have to talk to it.
That's kind of like marriage.
But no, it's a really good watch, and it's on Hulu. I mean, most of you have Hulu. I think is Hulu even? Can you get Hulu free? Is that even a thing? Do you know? I don't know. Anyways, it's cheap, especially if you get Disney Plus. Like, you just kind of add it in there. But no, it's a really good movie, and I think a lot of people will dig this, even with the lack of dialogue. Even if you know that going in, it honestly doesn't really matter. It you don't need dialogue in this movie, and it doesn't feel like a silent film. You know, at one point I had to ask myself, I'm like, has there been any dialogue? Because I haven't really even I didn't notice, because I was able to ascertain everything I needed to. So yeah, there you go. Big treat for me. So check out No One Will Save You on Hulu. All right, now next week. So I've been looking forward to this one. This is one. Let me just see if I can find. I just want to make sure there hasn't been a delay or something like that with this one coming out. They did announce it a while ago, so I don't think that'll be the case. But so next week we're going to do a film that had a pretty big theatrical run a couple months ago, and when I say big, like it did better than expected, and it got it was really kind of hyped up, and people were really saying it's one of the best horror movies in a while. And Barbenheimer. So it is now available to buy with wait, is it one of those premium? I think it's one of those premium VODs. I don't remember. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's already available. Yeah, okay, so you can buy it in it's that premium kind of price. But on October 3rd, it'll be hitting VOD. So you can do the regular old VOD rental in just a few days. And that movie is Talk to Me. So
oh shit.
Raven Chow's excited for someone to talk to him. Is that what I gather?
Somebody talk to me. Pick up.
So Talk to Me, and it'll be released on October 3rd on VOD. And yeah, this one I've heard a lot of good things. I don't really know much about it. I didn't even watch a trailer, anything like that, because I knew I was hearing a lot of good buzz about it. So
I feel that Talk to Me is a name of a erotic thriller in the early 90s that was on cable a lot. I do. I think it was. Nobody?
No.
What?
The girl was like, oh, take out an orange and put the head of your cock, and then someone walked in the room. That was a line of dialogue from that. Yeah, do a Google search.
What the hell are you talking about?
I just think this when movies have the same title as other movies. I was trying to go.
Wow.
Yeah, it does happen every now and again.
Like Red Heat. One involves Schwarzenegger, and one involves Linda Blair.
This year, even there was 2 movies called Cobweb that came out around the same time. We might even actually do the other one if it comes out this year. Yeah, the other one was directed by Kim Ji-woon.
Yeah.
So I think we might do that because I love Kim Ji-woon's films. I just don't know when it's hitting VOD. But he was the dude that did I Saw the Devil, The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, Elaying the Wolf Brigade, Age of Shadows, which was fucking awesome. Oh, and The Last Stand. He did that picture of Johnny Knoxville and Arnold. Remember that we did that one on the show?
Oh, wow. Did we do that on the show?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Holy shit.
Oh, and The Foul King. We've done so many of his films.
Oh.
So, yeah, I definitely want to do it if it comes out this year on VOD, which I think it is. But anyways, we were talking about Talk to Me. We're going to be doing Talk to Me next week. So if you guys want to check it out, it'll be available on VOD October 3rd. And as always, feel free to leave us a voice message, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. Let us know what you think. And looking forward to hearing from some folks. All right, so that's the film. Now, let me check think we got one voicemail. We didn't get any others, so I think we have one voicemail and a video.
Oh, casual noob cyber.
No, it's not Casual Noob.
Oh, really?
Unless he posted one, I didn't see. Let me see here. So let's do the voice message first, and then I'll get the video queued up after that. Let's see here. Let me just pop it in the right folder. And first up, we're going to hear from Evil Corny. You excited about that?
I am excited about that.
How come?
Because he's a big mark for Talk to Me. He loves that shit.
Well, I mean, he doesn't know we're doing that yet. Well, at least in the voice message, I mean.
Hey, Corny, we're doing Talk to Me next week. You heard it here first.
Although Corny, I think Corny was kind of upset with me last night on Force Insensitive. I told
is he
him.
mad at you? Is he mad at your mixer?
No, I told him to treat. I said, Corny, you need to treat yourself. And he's like, Wolfie, tell me to treat myself. He was like getting mad. I was like,
oh shit.
I was like, isn't it a good thing?
Yeah, like enjoy yourself. Like,
yeah,
you need a personal day.
Like Parks and Rec. Treat yourself. You know.
No, but I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe I should do a bunch of drugs. Be like, yo, treat yourself. Shadow. I'm like, thank you, Wolfie.
Wait, you talk like me?
Sometimes. When I'm alone. When you're not here.
Oh, shit. First time Mike checked in a little while ago. So even the family checking in for a bit. Tim Chuma says, was great to hang out. We'll go down to the club for a drink and play the one-armed bandit for exactly $20.
I'm going to play the one-armed bandit when the show's over. I'll tell you that much.
First time Mike says, Busta Rhymes will never retire, MZ. Never. Flip Mode Squad represent.
Woo-ha! Woo-ha!
Rocky says, clicking or gurgling while you're cranking and pedaling. Do you guys remember cranking and pedaling?
That's a peddling.
Let's see. First time Mike says, I have a feeling there have been many Raven Shadow nights that included gurgling after multiple blunts and beers. And Corny guest talked to me before I even said it. And Corny says, love that film. And he posted a talk to me inspired by a true story. And it's got a... What is that? Is that I'm looking at the little thumbnail. Is that Tim Meadows?
Oh, from the Ladies Man?
The Ladies Man.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
Two fine hams under your dress.
So, let me see if there's any other chats over here. No, okay. So let's
It's
hear.
like two puppies fighting under a blanket.
Let's hear from Corny. Let's see what he has to say.
I really enjoyed No One Can Save You. I'm giving it a treat. I think it's a real suspenseful film all the way through. During my second watch, the first watch, I really didn't know it was that much dialogue happening in the film. And the second go round, I noticed this, but I just thought it was a real intense film. The main character's backstory, I thought was real interesting. Kind of explain why she was, pretty much isolated at her house and everything, and didn't really have too many interactions with people. And like I said, I just thought it was a real suspenseful film, and I'm giving it a treat. One thing about me is I've told you all in the past that I have, even like last week, I had an episode of sleep paralysis, and when I was a kid, like in middle school, my trigger or what I would see during a sleep paralysis, incidents were pretty much gray aliens, being in my room or, just being somewhere like on a couch or whatever. And they would just be in a room with me and, me not being able to, scream for help or get up or, I pretty much, I guess, scare myself awake. But me thinking about it, that happened even before I saw the film Fire in the Sky. And, like I said, I was in middle school, and Fire in the Sky didn't happen until I was like in high school or getting ready to graduate from high school.
Okay.
So I always kind of wonder what that was that, triggered me, and just seeing those gray aliens, like, like that. But like I said, that's one of my sleep paralysis thing. And this was kind of intense, like just watching first thing in the morning, just
Yeah.
having that, in my background, to where that's one of the things I was kind of afraid of. And also, I have one request from you all, and I would like Wolfie, you to do like a Renfield, a Dracula Renfield about explaining the characters of Kiss. Because you have the spaceman, you have, I guess, the demon, you have the Catman,
Yeah.
you have the Fox, I think, and can't think of the other one. But
The demon.
can you all,
Starchild.
just do Renfield explain to me the Kiss characters? I can't do the voice and everything, and I'm just limited on that. I just want to know if you all can do that for me. Yeah, but you all have a good one. Evil Corny out.
Wow.
Wow. What a
That's quite a request.
yeah.
What do you say, Raven Shadow?
It's a long distance dedication.
Explain the Kiss characters in the Renfield voice.
Okay.
Starchild. I can't even like.
Renfield, fetch the demon. Renfield, fetch my vodka in orange juice.
Oh yeah.
What the hell is that?
An orange juice.
Don't sound like Dracula at all.
What is that?
No, but there's like
Get them orange juice.
Stop
you
wheezing
get
the
the
orange
juice?
juice, Renfield.
Get the juice.
some vodka in orange juice. Oh yeah. Renfield, you're looking for someone, but it's not Kiss.
Oh, fuck, I don't even know how to do that. Like, I don't know how we explain the members of Kiss as if Dracula was telling Renfield.
Oh, child. Renfield. You must listen to the demon and Starchild. Starchild. He has lasers coming from his eyeballs. Who are the others? Who are the others? Demon, Starchild.
What's Peter Criss is the cat, right?
The Catman.
Catman.
Catman. Yeah, Catman Crothers.
And Space Ace, right? Was that Ace?
Spaceman, yeah.
That's Starchild, though.
No. Starchild is Paul Stanley.
Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, Peter Criss is the Catman, and
the Catman
Ace
dude.
Frehley is Renfield. There are 3 young Jewish boys from the New York area.
Please show them around. Show them around
yes.
London.
Renfield, if you have the opportunity to spend the night with Paul Stanley, you don't want to use drugs. Just bring plenty of vodka and orange juice.
And bring plenty of money. They like that too.
Renfield, fetch my Kiss coffin.
My Kiss coffin.
He's gonna be very Dracula in a Kiss coffin.
Renfield, I want to party all night and some of every day.
Oh yeah, Rocky says the Ankh, that was Vinnie Vincent, but that was like after, he came in like what, 81 or 2, I think.
Yeah. Renfield, I prefer 70s Kiss over the 80s one.
Love Gun is better than Alive. I'll be listening to that from now on.
However, Renfield Destroyer was a good album that brought the them into the 90s.
Renfield.
They wore more face paint than me.
Renfield.
1983, where they removed their face paint and people begged for them to put it back on.
Renfield.
They looked like the undead.
The demon would spit blood from his mouth during his bass solo.
Renfield, fetch my love gun.
Fetch me my love gun.
The demon had a tongue like a serpent. A serpent that crawls around the foul pits of hell.
See, MZ can do this. MZ can do it. I can't do it. Serpent.
A serpent. The demon had a tongue like a serpent, crawling around the bowels of hell.
Renfield, I want to feed on Shannon Tweed, if you know what I mean.
Feed on Tweed.
Oh, Shannon Tweed.
1st and 10, let's do it again.
Oh, where's Beth?
I think I hear her
Beth.
calling.
Come to me, Beth.
Oh,
Beth, come to me.
the children of the night. What music they make. Oh, yeah.
The Knights in Satan services. What beautiful music they make, Renfield.
Yes. Down in hell, we have a kiss gift shop. You could buy a Gene Simmons bobblehead doll for $27.
And 26 of that goes to Gene Simmons.
And this music program from 1980, where they played in East Rutherford, New Jersey. You could have it signed by all 4 members of the band for only $1,500.
$1,500. All right, that actually should be.
I've got overhead. All right, let's continue. Man. I want to get to bed.
Oh, yeah.
Says the guy that kept it going.
Yeah, I know.
It was funny though. It was good. I think that was a good request. So thanks, Corny. All right, I think we have a video. So let me get this queued. I think it's queued up. It should. Let me just make sure it's going to play when I turn it on here. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So it's set to play when I start it. So, all right. I don't know what this is. Let's take a look and see what this video is all about here.
Uh-oh.
No, don't do this.
What
this
is
is
that?
Sacrilege. Holy shit.
Is that a Wendy's cup? Is that a
Oh,
French
no.
fry?
Oh, God.
And a chocolate frosty?
Oh, what? Oh, my God.
Oh, I want that right now.
Is there even audio? I'm not hearing any audio.
It's like the fucking movie we watched last week.
Did the director of No One Will Save You direct this too?
Oh, this is why?
Dude, why are you saying why to this guy? You put ketchup on a hot dog, okay?
Dude, ketchup, first of all,
Whoa, ketchup on a hot
is a
dog.
fair condiment.
Yeah,
this is
that's
Rocky
fair
dumping
play.
fucking French fries into a chocolate frosty.
Yeah. French fries into a chocolate frosty, that is fucking he did a tip of the hat.
Like a gentleman. Like
He
a
is
fucking gentleman.
Hey, at least if he's gonna dip fucking disgusting ass fries and not the fries are good. It's dipping them in a fucking frosty is disgusting.
Actually, I want that right now. Marion!
I'm sure it's a vegan frosty.
No, it's not.
He would.
Oh
do that.
God!
He's doing his tongue.
Like what if How do potatoes and chocolate, like, how do they go together? Like, who does this?
Look, but chocolate and peanut butter never went together until that fateful
No.
accident on dirt road one day.
They go together perfectly.
No, I think he's onto something. This is like
No,
Canadian
no.
Gene Simmons.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like how
I
he
was made for dip
I like how he
French
just keeps going.
fries
and
and
it's like-
chocolate smoothies.
I like how he just keeps going, and there's like he's saying nothing. He's just doing.
I feel there should be music there. I like his hat. I like his outfit.
Yeah.
He's got a
That looks
monocle.
delicious.
You see his monocle? Oh God!
Yeah,
Wow.
he does. Yeah.
I've never seen Rocky eat before.
Oh shit! There is music. I had it fucking muted. Oh, I'm sorry, Rock.
Oh, that's the first course.
A proper fucking wipe of the mouth. I feel
What
like a
fucking
dick.
gentleman.
I had it fucking muted. Fuck. I thought it was playing.
Both of you suck.
Well, it's just music over the.
Actually, it's kind of funnier without the music.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I was made for muting you, honey.
Do we want to watch it again with music?
Yeah.
No. Come on, man. I want to get to bed.
I want to get
Oh, this is classic.
No,
Sight goes for when your mind goes.
I could hear the
when
dog
you-
barking. This dog was saying, "Don't do it. Don't fucking
Yeah,
dip that fry in there, you son of a bitch."
Big Daddy, chocolate's bad for you.
All right, we heard. We got to see the beginning, so I'm gonna.
This is
I'm
like a
gonna
fucking chocolate orange right here. This is nice.
All right. Evil Corny. He says Rocky looks like he just got back from Wendy's in his Model T. And he says Rocky is classy AF.
Yeah. Hello there. I want a number 7 with a large chocolate shake and a box of seasoned curlies, please.
Seasoned curlies.
Yep.
Short and
I'm going
curlies.
to buy a newspaper for 12 pence and then go home and buy some war bonds.
Oh,
Be like
man. That was pretty good. All right, Rock. I'll give it to you. All right. You can have them whenever you want. I will never dip fucking fries in a Frosty. It's disgusting. But if you want to do it, it's okay. No, even if I had vegan everything, I would not dip fries in a fucking Frosty. It's sacrilege.
No, if it was like BV, right?
If it was BV,
BV,
what's that?
before veganism.
Yeah, but even after veganism, if it's vegan, I'm still not gonna fucking do it. It's
No, but back in the day, remember we would get meat in the middle of the night. That might be a thing that you would have eaten.
no, I would not. I didn't drink and I didn't smoke. I'm not dumb enough to put a fucking fry in a Frosty.
You definitely had a contact.
Well, I'm not gonna deny that. You guys fucking smoked me out like
Just saying.
couple times a week, probably.
We hotboxed the basement.
Yeah, Hotbox the Wolfman. All right, let's see. First time Mike said the finest of French fries, my good man. So, all right, well,
All he doesn't give a fuck about podcasting. From
no,
Oh, he's
well,
like,
no, he doesn't like you down here. He's like Raven Shadow. We podcast in the fucking studio. What are you doing down here, right?
Big Daddy.
Is that what he's saying?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Well. All right. We should wrap up. MZ is gonna fucking turn into a blumpkin again. What are you watching, MZ? What game you watching?
Not watching any game. I'm watching a movie.
We can't get Raven Shadow to watch a movie, and MZ's watching movies during the fucking podcast. What are you watching?
I'm watching Death Proof.
Oh, okay. Did you watch all of Grindhouse or just Death Proof?
All of Grindhouse.
He's watching fucking Grindhouse while we're doing the show. The fuck on, man. Jeez.
Fucking weird guy, man.
He is.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Wait, you're not going to finish Death Proof? You're not going to finish it before you go to bed?
Finish it tomorrow.
You'll never know what
I'm
happens.
gonna watch it on lunch.
All right. I think that's going to do it. So let's start saying goodbye, starting with MZ.
Arrivederci, gooch bags.
Did you say Arrivederci gooch bags?
Yes, I did. Shut up.
Arriva Gucci, douchebag.
Arrivederci gooch bags.
Arriva Gucci.
Well,
when I get done with this, I got to let the dog out, and I want to get to bed. So
could be a Gucci bag. Maybe he's into like Gucci. House of
Is
Gucci.
the dog your penis?
Wow. All right, Raven Shadow, go ahead. Say goodbye.
All right, live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
All right, yeah, that lawsuit is pending, so I'm glad you changed it.
Well, I tried to put something over, it didn't get over, and you know,
It's fine. I actually liked it, but you know, I just feel it's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
I feel I didn't have the positive reinforcement, so
Yeah, that's what you get.
You know?
That's what you get.
It's what you get.
All right. Well, we did the entire show without any technical issues. Well, during the show, before there's some, but I think we're good. The new mixer seems to be doing okay. I got a little bit more control here.
I could do some funny stuff with it.
Awesome.
So, all right. Yeah, so next week we're going to be doing Talk to Me. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Send in your voice messages, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. And I don't know. Next week's October. So got the spooks. Got the spooks coming. So if anyone's doing 31 Days of Halloween, are you doing it this year, MZ?
I'm going to try.
Okay, so maybe you can talk about what you're going to do next week. So, all right, well, that's going to do it. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We will see you all next week.